And hey, folks, this is Charles Butler, and this is the Reality Check. We are broadcasting live here at Red State Talk Radio, and we're going to delve into several topics today. One is the lies of Joe Biden and his attack on guns and gun owners and gun manufacturers. And he's the only one that had a gun ban that really stopped people from killing each other. Well, we know that's a lie. Um, Lee Williams is going to be with us. Lee is also known as the gun writer and has been writing about the Second Amendment, firearms industry, and gun culture for more than 10 years. He's the chief editor of the Second Amendment Foundation's investigative reporting project, and he's a frequent contributor to AmmoLand News, Armed America Radio, and he also serves as a board member of Florida Carry Inc. Recently, he also is an editor of a daily newspaper in Florida, becoming a newspaper editor. Lee was an investigator. Before becoming a newspaper editor, Lee was an investigative reporter at newspapers in 3 states and the U.S. territory. Lee also served in the United States Army, and that was and after he did that, he became a police officer. So this is a guy who knows something about guns, has put his ass on the line, and carried guns and defended people and protected people, protected citizens every day. Got up and went to work to protect you and I. That's what happened. He got to protect you and I. So, Lee, without any further ado, I'm gonna bring Lee aboard. Hey, Lee, how are you? How things going?
Good, Charles. How are you? I'm really glad to be here today.
I'm glad to have you. The one of the things that I wanted to talk about and be clear about is that Joe Biden continues to tell lies about his great track record with guns and gun owners and gun manufacturers, and he's just all fabrication.
Yeah, and it's sad, really. I mean, when you look at the guy, and he starts talking about guns, he doesn't let the truth get in the way of a good story. I mean, he's even lost the Washington Post. They've called him out on his fake gun stories and his misunderstandings about the Second Amendment. I mean, he when the Washington Post calls out a Democrat like Joe, you know he's crossed the line.
You're in deep water.
Yeah, his latest thing about these so-called rogue gun dealers. Quite frankly, man, it's a joke. I've known a lot of gun dealers. I've bought a lot of guns over the years. Every single one of them ran a background check on me every single time. I have good personal friends who have given me guns, gun dealers, and they, here's the gun, Lee. We want you to have it. By the way, I need your driver's license, because they run a background check every time. Joe is trying to blame these rogue gun dealers for the violence in some of our major cities, Chicago included. And that's just not the case. So I sent a Freedom of Information Act FOIA request to the ATF, seeking the number of gun dealers who have been prosecuted over the last 3 years for knowingly selling a firearm to somebody who's prohibited from owning one.
Right.
And when they respond to that, I'm guessing I'll probably have maybe 6 or 7 names in the entire country, because no gun dealer is going to do that. They're not going to risk their entire livelihood selling a firearm to somebody they know who can't lawfully have it.
Right. So, okay. So here we are dealing with Biden and his lies. I mean, and this is a guy who gets away with lying like Barack Obama. I used to listen to Barack Obama just stand up and he would tell the biggest lies. I mean, man, this guy would tell some real whoppers, and they just let him go about his daily task of lying. And it's just, for me, it was just the most amazing thing that they let Joe Biden and this guy Barack Obama get away with just blatantly lying. So let's fast forward for a second. What executive orders? Because you know nothing's coming out of the Congress.
Right.
What executive order do you think this guy is going to render to try to neuter the Second Amendment?
There's two that really concern me right now, and both of them involve the ATF. The first one, the most worrisome because it's the closest to fruition, is ATF rulemaking, under their rulemaking authority, wants to move everything with a pistol brace into being regulated by the NFA, which is basically where we regulate machine guns and sawed-off shotguns and suppressors and short barrel rifles. So overnight, if they pass that rule, and these pistol braces are popular, man, there are millions of them out there. I have one on an AK, I have one on an AR. A lot of guys have them. The minute that rule becomes law, and ATF basically has the authority to make their own laws, millions of Americans are going to be turned into criminals overnight. And in my humble opinion, any law that instantly turns millions of Americans into criminals, that's tyranny, man. That's the only reason and the only word to describe that type of law is tyranny with a capital T. The next one, and we know both Joe and the idiot he wants to be running the ATF, David Shipman,
the one who can't define what an assault rifle is.
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't know what they are, but he wants to move them. He wants to ban them.
I have assault rifles, sir. I have assault rifles myself, sir. Where do they come up with these people? How does this man in any way qualify to be the head of the ATF? I mean, he's a kid.
And right now, he's a paid anti-gun activist working for Giffords. Before that, man, they had him working at Everytown. So he's an activist, and they want to put him in charge of ATF and given all of their authority. That's like telling me you want to put Howard Stern in charge of the FCC. It just doesn't work out. And I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. So,
well, look. Okay, so we have these things to contend with. Okay. But they haven't. He got a committee, but he's got to come before the full vote of the Senate. Do you think that they're going to vote this guy in?
I've talked to a lot of people, Mr. Gottlieb included. Alan Gottlieb is the founder and EVP of the Second Amendment Foundation where I work, and some friends at NRA. And I got to tell you, I wish I had better news, but we're concerned. We are very concerned.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're going to tell me that there aren't 10 Democrats that are concerned about this moron after his testimony?
I hope there are at least two. We're talking Manchin and Sinema. At least two. We only need two. But yeah, I mean, you would think that anybody that saw that testimony, regardless of your party, would go, man, we can't put this guy in charge. He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. I mean, it's just pure and simple. He's an idiot.
And he's racist.
Well, sir, he looks like Bugs Bunny. That's what he reminded me of. Sir, I don't know what an assault rifle is, but I need the definition.
I want to ban him.
I just need a minute to read the definition of them. But even though I've been in the business for the last 10 years and I'm an expert, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
He's like Bugs Bunny. Go back and look at the tapes. If he doesn't remind you of Bugs Bunny, nothing will. Okay.
Well, and my boss, Mr. Gottlieb, who's also involved with the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, laid it out there today. Chipman has made some racist statements in the past. And Alan Gottlieb said these things need to be investigated immediately, or that nomination needs to be dropped. Flat out drop it. Because not only is he an idiot, he's evidently a racist too.
No, and listen, man. Most white liberals are racist. They try to hide it, and I'm a Democrat. Yeah. Whenever a white person tells me they're a Democrat, my antenna always goes up. I've been like that since I was in high school. High school, okay. College, okay. But when a person's 30, 35 years old and they still say, I'm a Democrat, I know that person has a problem. And generally, that person is a racist. And that person is always, and those people have always been people I've had problems with in terms of promotion, in terms of fairness. Sure. There's no way that Chipman would give me a fair shot at anything. Why? I'm smarter than he is. Two, I'd have all the women in the office. So, bar none, boom. I mean, how do we compliment each other? We don't. But he would be my boss. And he knows that he's not qualified to be my boss. I used to work for a lot of white boys like that. And they would just out and out tell me, hey, man, I'm just nervous having you around because, you just, I'm supposed to be in charge. Dude, do whatever you want. I'm just here. I'm just trying to make a living. I can't help it if you got some insecurity problems because you're not qualified to be here. Because your fraternity brother gave you a job. I had several instances like that, man, where a guy's fraternity brother had made him the manager of our group, and the guy these guys had never sold anything, didn't know anybody who could help us. And I would ask questions like this: well, who can you pick up the phone and call and help me out with a sales problem? Well, I've never sold before. I don't really know anybody in this business.
Oh man.
What do you do? What do you do when that happens? Duh.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you, man, you can't make this stuff up.
No. And
go ahead.
He could get in. That's the problem.
Well, when he was talking about he was an expert, but he couldn't define what assault rifle was. I was done.
And he was also at Waco, and that concerns the hell out of me.
Well, he was at Waco as what? As a PI?
As an ATF guy. He was one of the people involved in Waco.
That burned those people alive.
Yeah. 70, including 19 children.
Yeah, how did that get out of hand, man? I remember that, but I really didn't follow it because supposedly they were white supremacists and all this other stuff. Hey, Janet Reno, I know she took a hit.
Yeah, as she should have. It's typical ATF. They want a big headline and they gin up some kind of charge. Those people there had a lot of guns and they were all legal. But then they started ordering some rifle grenades that were inert, which are also legal. And they ordered some black powder, which is also legal. So ATF decided that they must be making grenades, even though they never found any. Of course, everything was burnt to a crisp. But so they issued a warrant. They went in, they tried to serve it, and they got their ass handed to them. Now, like Ruby Ridge, the incident before that, they knew that this guy, this David Koresh, he left the compound every day. He'd go into town, he'd have a beer, he'd go out for a jog. If they really wanted him so bad, all they had to do, and I've written about this, was contact the local sheriff. Local sheriff could have picked him up the next day he came in town, and all those people would have been alive. But the ATF had to make a big splash. Right. You got to get some good headlines, man.
Got to justify that budget.
Yeah. So they pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and the next thing you know, everybody's dead.
Yeah. Those things happen, unfortunately. But I would love to find the racist comments that Chipman made, so that I could put
supposedly. Yeah, I think you need to. I mean, the whole community, and I'm talking every community
Chipman,
here.
Racist.
Supposedly, he said something. There were a bunch of African American guys who took the ATF test and they passed. And Chipman said when he saw that a lot of black guys had passed the test, well, they must have cheated. And that's pretty stunning, man.
They said David Chipman made racist remarks about agents who passed the test to become agents. You have to understand, this is a young guy. This is not an old white guy making these statements. This is a young white boy who's a damn Democrat. I could not imagine even Tucker Carlson saying something so bizarre. I mean, and Tucker Carlson gets on my last effing nerves. Okay, he's a smart ass white boy who's never done anything in his life, went to some half ass school, and he thinks he's smart. It's not like he went to Princeton or Harvard or a Yale. He went to some little small a liberal arts school, and his daddy was allegedly a con man and a shyster. I mean, he was always in something nefarious. I lived in San Diego, and his dad was always in something nefarious or something sleazy. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But
right.
Tucker walks around these little bow ties, trying to be smart, like he's a little nerd. He's not. That little act. I'm gonna have a bow tie, and he thinks because he makes these little gestures that he's practiced in the mirror that makes him smart. I'm like, dude, please. I know hundreds of white dudes like you. Yeah. Please. You're not that smart. First of all, you're not that manly. I could not believe. I'm going to do a piece on Tucker a little later because he called the Joint Chief of Staff a pig. And what else did he call him? A pig. And he called him something else, stupid. This is a guy who graduated from Princeton, who was a hockey player on the Princeton hockey team, who spent most of his Army career in combat. What the hell has Tucker Carlson ever done besides run his damn mouth? I want to punch Tucker. I want to challenge Tucker to get in the ring. Now, I'm 70. Tucker's in his 40s. I will kick his ass. I will kick his ass.
What bugged me about that so bad was if you look at that general's uniform, you'll see not only does he have a Ranger tab, he's got the long tab on his shoulder. He's in Special Forces. And then he's got the Combat Infantryman badge with a star on it, which means he was in at least 2 wars. The man fought in 2 wars. Okay, he's not a pig.
Oh no,
and he's not stupid,
and he's brave. And this is and so his reputation is. If you listen to Tucker Carlson and his comments, which I'm going to play later after our segment, Tucker is saying, "Oh, he's not brave. He doesn't have the respect of the rest of the army." So I see, but people are conflating 2 things here, and I know this is off your topic, but. I've concluded that people are conflating 2 different things and they're calling it CRT. They're conflating CRT, critical race theory, and the 1619 Project. The 1619 Project is opinion based. It accuses, it goes down, accuses white people of being racist and just making some bizarre, unsubstantiable claims that paint all white people one way. And I always say, if white people were so damn bad, how did the abolitionists push through their agenda? How did, people tickle me talking about Lincoln. They got Lincoln all wrong. Lincoln called a group of black men to the White House and said, after the war, I'm going to free you, but I'm going to send you back to Africa. And the black folks said, we're not going back to Africa. We built this damn country. We stay in here. We don't know a damn thing about Africa. Do you ever notice that nobody ever talks about Lincoln's lineage? You ever know? They never say he's Irish or he's Scottish or he's, I don't know what Lincoln is. Do you?
No, I personally don't.
Has anybody ever asked that question before?
I haven't heard that.
Me neither. So I'm thinking, it's Charles Butler, right? So I'm thinking, okay, whatever this guy is, I heard he was a mixture of all these different things, including black. They used to call him the N-word because of his complexion. He had a very dark complexion. But Lincoln wanted to send the slaves back to Africa at the end of the Civil War. True story. And he, like I said, he called a group of black men to the White House to discuss that. And he did not emancipate the slaves. I got into a big argument with a relative of mine. And I was like, do you think because he wrote this piece of paper that slaves just walked off the plantations? And she was like, yeah, they just got up and left. They were free. I'm like, you know what I said to that, Lee?
Uh-huh.
That is absolutely elementary school hogwash. You would think that in elementary school, but not as an adult. These men were not going to let their slaves just walk off the plantation. And those who tried They killed them. They beat them. They made examples of them. You are not leaving. I don't care what Lincoln said. Lincoln ain't here to free your black ass. You belong to me. And that's what happened. I mean, the slaves really weren't free until 14th Amendment. 13th Amendment, I think, freed the slaves. But that given, we walk around all these misconceptions about, like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's made numerous racist statements. Numerous.
Yeah. Over the years, they're pretty bad too.
Like my state, and he resorted to that Southern twang, like Strom Thurmond or somebody. My state is a slave state. My state, slave state. You need to look up our history. I'm a Southerner. That's what he said. I'm going, whoa. You see, and people don't remember, and this is really interesting because you have to look really hard for this. Ted Kennedy was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. He joined the Ku Klux Klan at UVA when he was in law school.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I tell you, I read that years ago, and I'm having one hell of a time digging it up now, but I'll find it.
I'm sure that info has been covered and covered and covered up.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been certainly erased from the what do you call it? The internet. So, man,
yeah,
go ahead.
Joe has said racist things forever when he was a senator in Delaware. I mean, got a long history there.
He said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, I guess I'm not black. Joe, I'm not. Yeah. See, here's a white man trying to tell people what they are and what they're not. You ain't black if you don't vote for me. Really? Then I guess I ain't black, Joe.
Well, it's like Chipman, stunned that there are black guys in law enforcement. Having been in law enforcement,
passed the test.
Having been in law enforcement, I can tell you there are quite a few people of all colors in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that one is, to me, they should drop his nomination just for that statement.
They said
that statement alone.
But no, this is how they're going to get around it. I'm going to pledge to bring more underrepresented people into the ATF. I'm going to make sure that we make special arrangements to bring in minority. See, I don't believe in this minority bullshit. Okay. I believe in black folks. Black folks are different than minorities. White women, gays, lesbians, all them people. They all that stuff because they want to be. Black people were discriminated against because they were what? Black. Simple. Simple. If I don't want to be gay today, guess what? I'm not in that special. I don't know what the hell is going on with these courts. I don't know what the hell is going on with God-fearing people. I'm sorry. I don't embrace, I don't support, and I never will promote homosexuality. You are what you are. And if that's what you want to be, so what? I don't care. I don't want it, but don't put it in my face. I think it's repulsive. It's repulsive that somebody wants to come and tell me how they have sex. I don't give a shit how you have sex. Really? Sounds a little painful to me.
Well, I'm a firm believer in what George Carlin says. I care so little about how somebody else achieves their orgasm because I'm so totally focused on how I achieve my own.
No question. If I can get one, okay. I don't care. And here we are spending time and talking about Gay Pride Month. Who gives a shit about, these people are, well, anyway, just go to a gay pride. I remember one of my liberal white friends took her children to a gay pride event in Chicago. She said she was repulsed by the depravity that she witnessed walking down the street and on floats. I said, she said she had to leave. She was so disgusted. I said, well, hey, girl, it's on clear display. but you are bleeding heart. You don't want to deal with the facts. I said, I'm glad you had that experience, but your children are traumatized. She said, yeah, they they won't be getting over that anytime soon. Hey, I think the kids had some psychological issues leave behind that. But seeing these two dudes kiss their tongues all wow like demons, I'm like, ooh, Lord. But the reality is Joe is trying to take away our guns. And you know what, Lee, I don't know about you, but I don't run into many people who have anything good to say about Joe Biden.
No, I mean, I covered him when I worked at the newspaper there in Wilmington, Delaware. And I knew his son, Bo, a lot better than I did Joe. Bo and I would go to lunch. And, it's just kind of Joe. And, I got to tell you, in all honesty, the Joe I knew then, because I disagreed with his politics even back then about 1,000%. But he could still walk into a room and light it up. He had charisma. But the Joe I saw the other day behind that podium, I mean, not only when he was giving his pro or his anti-gun speech, not only was he having troubles reading from the teleprompter, and I'm talking just reading from the teleprompter, he couldn't complete a sentence, and now he's slurring his words, something fierce. There's something going on in there, and the media, of course, doesn't want to talk about the fact that Joe may have cognitive issues. All obviously tired.
But do you notice how all of them were, all of these psychologists and psychiatrists were quick to psychoanalyze Trump, and he has these mental issues and he has those mental issues, and people started saying, wait a minute, how can you draw those conclusions without examining the man?
Yeah, all I know is he took a cognitive functioning test and he passed with flying colors. I don't think Joe could do that anymore. Those problems that were on display when he was given that speech are a lot more serious than a lack of sleep. I mean, there's something going on, which makes me wonder. The next question would be, well, Joe's obviously not in control. So who is? Who's calling the shots? And who elected them?
Well, we did.
That's what concerns me.
It's going to be Camilla.
Yeah.
It's going to be Jill. Remember, they had the pictures of Jill sitting on the plane reading the briefing notes for the G7 and the G20.
Yeah, she's not elected.
Does she have a secret clearance? Does she have a TS?
I don't know.
Just because she's bowling this guy doesn't mean she has the clearances to look at this information, because she's screwing this guy. The Clintons took the presidency to an all new low. Hillary Clinton, nobody wants to talk about this, but Hillary Clinton did not allow the military to wear their uniforms in the White House,
which is insane.
But am I telling the truth, Lee?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, but it was in a book. The guy Ace Patterson, who carried the football for Clinton, said they couldn't wear their uniforms in the White House. Hillary Clinton didn't want them to wear their uniforms in the White House. And I don't care what anyone says, Lee. When John Kennedy said he was going to run for the Senate, and Hillary knew that would knock her out, they killed that boy. Kennedy, should he be ready to run for president now? I mean, Barack Obama only had 2 years before he did it. John would have, would have had 7, 8 years now, not 12 years now, or more. So anyway, my friend, now, what really makes Shipman's comments even more hurtful is this. In 2007, the alleged incident they said that we were talking about, where the guy said Chipman made these comments. He's been with them for 25 years. They said he was the assistant special agent in charge of the Detroit field office at the time. So he was surrounded by black officers,
Yeah.
who passed this test. They must have been cheating, Jones said, in reference to what a former ATF agent told him. The agent reported the incident to the EEOC. And this guy just matriculates along with his racist ass. But one of the things, I'm going to switch topics here shortly because I gotta move on. But what would you like to leave us with about Joe and these guns?
Now is the time to call for folks to call their senators and tell them to vote no, vote against Chipman's nomination. And when I say call their senators, every senator has a whole bunch of field offices. I know the two in Florida, Rubio and Scott, they each have like 9 or 10 field offices. Call every single one of them, because all you are when you call your senator's office is a check mark. Okay? So instead of being just one check mark, be 10 check marks. Call your senator's field offices, tell them to vote no against Chipman's nomination. Because if they don't, we could end up with an activist in charge of ATF, and then everybody's guns are in jeopardy. And then here's my biggest thing. I don't want people to have to make this decision, because this is a heady, important decision, whether or not to comply with the new federal law. Because if you do, you're going to give up your guns. If you don't, you're going to be a felon. Well, I don't want people to have to make that decision.
You know what? I think people will make that decision, and they'll make the right decision. It's our government. These people work for us. And there's some of us out here who understand that. And we're not going to give up our guns. And we're not going to let some unelected bureaucrat tell us what we need to do and how we defend our homes or how we need to act. How's that for a response?
That's perfect. I hope everybody thinks like that after they call their senator.
Right. And if you don't know how to do that, 202-224-1414. 202-224-1414. They'll tell you exactly who your senator is. Hey, thanks again, man, for coming on. Really,
anytime, Charles. I really enjoyed it. I really did, man. Thank you.
Well, say hello to Gottlieb for me, because he used to come on my show all the time.
I shall. I definitely will.
Be good.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Hey, folks, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Dan Perkins from America's Cannabis Conversation, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can take responsibility for your own health. CV Science products that can help you empower yourself against the COVID-19 virus are CV Acute and CV Defense. The Acute product is taken at an early onset of feelings of discomfort and works over 3 days to assist your immune system to fight off the virus. The second product is CV Defense, which is taken daily, and it helps to optimize the power of your immune system to fight off this virus. Recently on my program, I had an interview with Dr. Michael Lewis, who's been in public health for decades. I asked him about personal responsibility, and he said,
"You are responsible for your own health. Don't count on the government to provide you with a magic pill or a magic shot for your health. That is your personal responsibility."
If you want to empower yourself and take control of your health care, go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info, and take care of your health care.
Hi, this is Charles Butler, the host of the radio show, The Reality Check with Charles Butler. At Asset Benefits, we provide our clients with the rates and benefits from over 20 top-rated life insurance companies. We make you informed decision makers about final expense, mortgage protection, and securing your family's financial stability with the loss of a loved one. Hey, don't wait. Pick up the phone and call 312-667-9111 for your free quote and evaluation. So don't leave your family in a financial crisis because of a failure to plan for financial needs. Please call us for a free analysis and quote at 312-667-9111.
Hello, this is Dan Perkins, and I want to talk to you about CV Science's new product to give you a healthy immune system. The all-natural product is called CV Defense, and this supplement is designed to protect you against attack on your immune system. Take it every day. Keep your immune system and you healthy. Be proactive about protecting your immune system and protecting your body by using CV Defense. For more information, you can go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info.
Oh, wow. I wonder if the volume was off all the time I was talking to Lee. Damn. I hate that when that happens. Jesus Christ. I gotta deal with this system. Anyway, hey, look, General Smiley made some comments. General Milley made some comments. General Milley is the Joint Chief of Staff. Made some comments about critical race theory, along with Secretary Austin. I thought they were very clear. I was very proud of them and how they stood their ground and how they answered these questions. So we circle back, and when we circle back, we find that this is still an issue today. I mean, these people are still talking about this today. So this is how General Milley had answered the questions posed to him by Congressman Gates. And he dealt with them succinctly, clearly, bluntly, and I loved it. Here we go.
I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it. So what is it that caused thousands of people to assault this building and try to overturn the Constitution of the United States of America? What caused that? I want to find that out. I personally find it offensive that we are accusing the United States military, our general officers, our commissioned, non-commissioned officers of being, quote, woke or something else because we're studying some theories that are out there.
Wow. Wow. And, the guy went on to say, hey, I've studied Mao, I've read Che Guevara, and, he said, I'm not a communist. Here is a guy who is a Princeton or Ivy League school graduate. Love this guy, man. He's a real warrior. Spent most of his time in combat. He has a combat badge with a star, which means he was in 2 wars. He has the Special Forces stripe. He has senior jump wings. I mean, this is a bad dude. Bad dude. And you have somebody like Tucker Carlson call him a pig. Listen to this nonsense. And this is why I get on Tucker's case, because he needs to be reined in. He's just too far. And well, he doesn't have to be reined in. He can say what he wants to say. He just discredits himself as far as I'm concerned. So let's play Brian. Here we go.
Ivy League educated 40-year veteran. Those on the right didn't take kindly to the Joint Chiefs' rebuke of Republican attacks on critical race theory. General Milley's remarks elicited this attack on Fox News tonight.
Mark Milley is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He didn't get that job because he's brilliant or because he's brave or because the
Wrong, Tucker. He did get the job because he is brilliant. He's considered one of the smartest generals we have, one of the most knowledgeable about combat and effectively combat. He's calling the most effective leader. You lying dog, you.
people who know him respect him.
A number of people, he's very well respected in the military, by all branches of the military. Tucker, you're not. You're a wuss. You're an outsider. You never served. I get tired of you people who never served talking about patriotism. Go kiss my black ass. Okay? Because you're cowards. You didn't serve. Just like Romney and Cheney, who had 6 draft deferments. He's supposed to be so tough. He was a tough guy. He didn't want to go to Vietnam, though. He's supposed to be such a tough little cookie up in Wyoming. I was real tough and rough. Well, you wasn't rough enough to get your ass in the army and go to Vietnam, Dick Cheney. Wusses. Let's keep going.
He is not, and they definitely don't. Milley got the job because he is obsequious. He knows who to suck up to, and he's more than happy to do it. Feed him a script, and he will read it.
Obsequious. What does that mean? Did you guys look that up? Obsequious. You want to look that up while we listen to Tucker?
Hard to believe that man wears a uniform. He's that unimpressive. Notice he never defined white.
He's hard to believe that he wears that uniform. You look at this guy's uniform, and I wish I could wear that uniform. I wish that I could be as honorable as this man is. Tell you, it's amazing. And then you have this little twerp calling him these names. Amazing. Amazing where we have come, where we've gone. Amazing. Anyway, let's go back to Tucker and his rant.
Rage, and we should know what it is. What is white rage? He's not just a pig, he's stupid.
With us to talk about what we've just witnessed is General Barry McCarthy.
He's not just a pig, he's stupid. Tucker Carlson actually said that about the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. This is the man who is in charge of all the other services. So you have the Joint Chiefs, then you have the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, Coast Guard underneath him. Space Command. See, we forgot about Space Command, but it's there. Donald Trump created that. Yes. So let's go and hear what Brian has to say. Here we go.
McCaffrey, decorated combat veteran of Vietnam, former battlefield commander in the Persian Gulf, former cabinet member, former member of the National Security Council. He retired, by the way, as a four-star general in the U.S. Army. General, for the civilians watching you and me tonight, please let them know what they should know about your friend and your fellow four-star General Milley.
Well, you know, I've known Mark Milley since he was a one-star in Afghanistan. I watched him in combat. I've been very closely associated with him over the years. It is my objective view that he's one of the most effective combat leaders we've had since World War II. He actually is brilliant. He's a Princeton grad, world-class athlete at Princeton, hockey player. He is incredibly brave. He was involved in shootouts in downtown Sadr City, armed with a pistol. He actually is widely respected in the armed forces. He spent a good bit of his Army career, military career, in combat. So, you know, that Fox TV interview is like the world turned upside down.
But see, it wasn't an interview. It was a commentary by Tucker Carlson about a man he knows nothing about. Obviously, you can't even read the ribbons on his uniform because what? Tucker's never served. He doesn't know what that combat badge means with a star on it. Doesn't have a clue. Doesn't know what the special ops stripe is. If his life depended on it.
I was very proud of him. He was very direct. And by the way, he's one of the bluntest people I've seen in uniform. He does not suffer fools lightly. And he and Secretary Austin, I think, did a remarkable job in just speaking directly to the challenge.
Directly to the challenge from these nobodies. Tucker Carlson, Congressman Gates. Oh, God. Gates. What a joke. So, obsequious, definition, obedient, or attentive in an excessive or servient degree, or to a servient degree, or servient degree. They were served by obsequious waiters. Obsequious. How about that? See, Tucker thinks he's the only. I'm going to Google where Tucker Carlson went to college because I was totally unimpressed.
We do have institutional racism baked into America's DNA. We do have to address it. For God's sakes, we got 8 Army posts named after Confederate generals who fought to preserve slavery. So we got to get into this subject. We will work it out. In many ways, the armed forces is the least racist institution in this country, but we got a long way to go, and Mark Milley's the guy to help us get there.
Wow. I love it. Said Mark's the way to help us get there. Now, I was so impressed with Brian's job and General McCaffrey that I want to play for you one other segment from that show because I think it's important and we have enough time to do it.
30 years, Fox News is on the lion's share of the televisions in the mess halls, ready rooms, and lounges in bases, foreign and domestic. What would it do to the ranks to hear a Fox News anchor call the chairman of the Joint Chiefs a pagan stupid?
Well, it's a terrible gesture to make on the part of anybody about a public servant, never mind one of Mark Milley's dedication and talent. Look, I've never bought into the notion that the armed forces is rife with extremism because they're watching Fox TV. I don't believe that at all. 40% of the armed forces are minorities of one sort or another. They're basically, it's an apolitical institution. Certainly the officer corps is. They will not tell you who they voted for. They're prohibited by law from all sorts of actions. So I think that the country ought to have a lot of confidence that if you go to an infantry battalion in the 82nd Airborne Division or a Marine battalion at Quantico, you're going to find dedicated people. 60,000 killed and wounded in the war on terror fighting to protect this country. So it's a terrible insult to attack these people who are out there trying to protect America.
I say amen to that. Hey, look. Okay. Bill Cosby is out. Okay. Tucker was wrong. Tucker lied. We're done with Tucker. Okay. We're done. So just keep in mind what I've told you about Tucker Carlson. I've been telling you about this guy. He's a sleazebag. Don't like him. He's a little smart aleck white boy, and he needs to be slapped. Bitch slapped is what he needs to be. Talking about real men. So let's fast forward. Bill Cosby's free. There were nobody out there. There weren't people out saying, free Bill Cosby, free Bill Cosby. No, nobody did that. Nobody came to his rescue. I talked about it. I said it was wrong to convict this man based on these women and these women who were looking for favors, obviously. Well, I just took a pill. Would you take a pill from someone? Would you take a pill from anyone other than your mother, father, brother, maybe sister? Well, would you take a pill from a guy in his house? Oh, I have a pill for no reason. Oh, I just like a Quaalude to relax. As I used to say, and let me say this again, in all honesty, I lost more opportunities to have sex in the 80s because I did not have Quaaludes. And not only did I not have them, I refused to go buy them in the club. See, so if you didn't have them, which I didn't, and I didn't know how to go buy them, the girls would say, hey, nice car, your place or mine? Well, my place. I don't know who you've been floating in and out of your bed. I know my sheets are clean. And I'm going to throw you in the shower and clean you up before we get started. So, hello. I'm bad, man. So now it's fast forward. Do you have any Quaaludes? You driving down the highway, I'm going to get you thinking, oh, hi, everything's wonderful. We're going to have a good time at my place. I have, if you want champagne, I have champagne, I have Jack Daniels, I have scotch, I have bourbon, I have wine, I have a nice selection of things. And besides that, we're going to have either fish or beef or whatever it is you want out of the refrigerator. And then we're going to get busy and have some hot sex. Well, driving with this on my mind, right? Trying to get to my place, right? Do you have marijuana? No, I don't have any marijuana. That shit is that, it's illegal shit. I'm not play. Well, I think you should. I know a place where we can get some weed and we can get some Quaaludes. Do you want to go? Well, no, I don't do drugs. Well, look, you seem like a real nice guy, and I think we'd have a wonderful time this evening, but I need something to kind of loosen me up. I need something to get me going. Well, I'm going to get you going, baby. Well, no. I mean, I just want to be out of it and just, you foods and a little, a little marijuana to smoke and relax. I'm serious, man. I cannot tell you how many times those scenarios played out or parts of those scenarios played out where I ended up taking the chick back to her home or back to the club. Seriously. Same way with Cos. These chicks, every last one of these chicks came back and had sex with him again. All of the 5 women who testified. Was the penis that good that you guys just kept coming back? That's the question I would have asked. He better be glad I wasn't one of his lawyers. I would have got seriously graphic about having sex with Bill Cosby. Hey, look, we're going to take a break. Got to play one of these clips, one of these commercials that I didn't play earlier.
Hello, this is Dan Perkins from America's Cannabis Conversation, and I'm here to talk to you about how you can take responsibility for your own health. CV Science products that can help you empower yourself against the COVID-19 virus are CV Acute and CV Defense. The Acute product is taken at an early onset of feelings of discomfort and works over 3 days to assist your immune system to fight off the virus. The second product is CV Defense, which is taken daily, and it helps to optimize the power of your immune system to fight off this virus. Recently on my program, I had an interview with Dr. Michael Lewis, who's been in public health for decades. I asked him about personal responsibility, and he said,
You are responsible for your own health. Don't count on the government to provide you with a magic pill or a magic shot for your health. That is your personal responsibility.
If you want to empower yourself and take control of your health care, go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info and take care of your health care. Hello, this is Dan Perkins, and I want to talk to you about CV Science's new product to give you a healthy immune system. The all-natural product is called CV Defense, and this supplement is designed to protect you against attack on your immune system. Take it every day. Keep your immune system and you healthy. Be proactive about protecting your immune system and protecting your body by using CV Defense. For more information, you can go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info.
Ta-da, we're back. Hey, look, Bill Cosby is free. And if you can see on the television, they're in these white cars. They're in lane 1. They are hauling ass, getting away from that prison. It's 2 cars. They are not playing around, folks. They are they got the pedal to the metal. They're making it out of the doggone prison. Thank God. I'm glad Cosby's out. On the serious note, I think, like I said before, it was wrong of the way they did Cosby, how they tried to railroad him. I get tired of these white women acting like they're so virtuous and they're so helpless. Bull crap. And any woman will tell you, bull crap. You don't see black women out, well, I got raped. And I'm telling you, black women get raped. Okay. I know. Because it's in the black culture. Okay. And it's something that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to write about, and you'll know about too. Hey, look, we're going to sign off from Red State. We got about 30 seconds here. Sign off from Red State and keep the flame burning here for a few minutes. But Cosby is out. He's free. And the Supreme Court threw it out. The PA Supreme Court, bam, they can't come back at him. They might try to come back at him in a civil case, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, Cos is what, 82, 83 now? He can drag this thing out another 4 or 5 years. But I wonder, and this is on a serious note, because I've always cared about what happened to Camille. And she took this like a lady. And she stood by her husband. And I just hope that their relationship comes back to where it was or whatever. Hey, look, let's see, you guys out here didn't have to look it up. Let's see. Messaging out here. Let's see. Show. Okay. It was working. Let's see here. Let me put on my glasses. Yet I can't. Where are my glasses? Who took my glasses? Did you take my glasses? Did you take my glasses? Did you take my glasses? Let's see here. See if I can Man, I cannot believe I have all these glass cases and no glasses. Okay, here we go. Howard wouldn't want the payout. Okay. Hey, look, we're out of red state. We're tracking here after red state. Howard wouldn't want the payout. That's why he left terrestrial radio. That's true. Stearns, yeah. Those schools you just mentioned creaked out tons of liberal. Oh yeah, no question. No, it's not. No, it was working. It was working good. Glad it was working. CTR was meant for the low IQ. Actually, CRT was meant for the low IQ. Actually, CRT started at Harvard. It's quantitative, constructive information, but we're conflating, I think, CRT with the 1619 Project, which was about opinions and people trying to stick it in the eye of Whitey, and those things. See, it was not thousands of people. Okay, I was wrong on that. Let's see, the message is held for review. Okay, fine. What's the message? Bootlicking, servitude. That was the word that old Tucker used. Let's see. Didn't have to look it up. Good. Sounds good. Let's see. Was a country to have really decide how important college really is and its true weight because of all of our so-called masters of the universe. They do not have college degrees. Yeah, like Gates and Zuckerberg and Jack over at Twitter. See Steve Jobs, Zuck. Yep. What's MD? Bill Gates. Who is MD? I don't know who MD is. Laughing out loud. The list goes on, no question. Fred Silver, hide your daughters from pop and poop. What does that mean? I don't know what that meant. Anyway. Hey, look, this is great. This is great. Hey, we're going to sign off here. I'm going to try to get that Zoom incorporated so we can Zoom people in and do interviews side by side. So I'll be working on that in the next day or so. So you guys hang in there, and I will see you tomorrow. I don't know who our guest will be yet, but it's Freedom Friday, so we're going to turn it up and have something creative. Thank you. Take care.